everybody. We are back again to talk some NFL football, and man, did we have
some highs and some lows.
an interesting week. But first of all, like I said, we're going to recap Week 5, and then we'll have a dumpster fire or 2 or 12.
We got plenty of material.
There's plenty of material for dumpster fires this week. And then we will talk about our predictions for Week 6. But let's jump right into the melee on that barn burner of a game Thursday night.
That was the worst football game I've seen in a long time.
Colts at Broncos.
That was such a wretched performance.
It took back
football back to the Stone Age.
It took back offensive football to the Stone Age. It is the worst offensive display I think I may have ever seen.
Nathaniel Hackett is the worst coach in the league. He is the worst coach in the league, without a doubt.
Yeah, now
you saw how he can manage games, or quote unquote manage,
and time. That was bad, man.
And the Colts didn't fare much better.
No.
It was just a horribly played football game.
He's took Russell Wilson, who was going to the Hall of Fame, and made him
look like an average quarterback.
Yes.
Is he that talented?
I don't know. He's that bad of a coach, I think. Yeah. Hackett, I think he's got a good last name as Hackett. Because he has hacked this all to pieces, man. He has,
people call him Nathaniel the Hack.
The Hackett. He's also, he can hack up anything. Just hack it all to pieces. Because that was some bad football, man.
That game was so wretched that people wanted to actually
the Colts,
refund.
The Colts won 12-9 to maybe salvage
whatever is left
of their year. I mean, they would have been 1-3-1 if they had lost.
The real losers are the people who watched that game.
Yeah, the people who watched all that game are the real losers. We will never get that time back in our lives. That time is lost forever now. The time we wasted watching that piece of garbage. It was so bad. It was so bad, it was sort of fun to watch. You're like, man, this is horrible. But you keep on watching it thinking...
I'm laughing because I knew how bad it was, and I'm laughing because I could take the pain of watching that game away.
It was so bad. But anyways, that could have been a dumpster fire right there, just that game.
We got new material.
It could have been a dumpster fire. Well, let's go ahead and jump into our Sunday games. We had the 49ers at your Panthers.
We played like absolute garbage.
And Hackett probably is the worst coach now, because the Panthers fired theirs.
Yeah, Matt Rule.
Matt Rule might have been the worst coach. I didn't even pay attention. He was 11-27.
Just a perfect example of a college head coach that does not work in the NFL.
No, he's fantastic in college. Took every team he went to into the playoffs, and not the playoffs, but championship bowl games.
He took Baylor from 1-11 to 6-6 to 11-1 in 3 years.
In 3 years, yeah. And then
in the NFL, he just became a pumpkin.
He turned it back into a pumpkin. Yeah, he went from the fairy tale back to
a rotten pumpkin.
Yeah, and especially the first couple of years he had the play caller for the best college team in the history of college teams with him.
The 2019 LSU team. I love that team.
Still couldn't win. Still couldn't get a pass completed with it already. So. But anyways, the 49ers beat the doors off the Panthers. And now
we get to look for a head coach.
And now Mayfield has a high ankle sprain and will be out at least 2 weeks.
Just icing on the crab cake.
Just icing on the crab cake. But we had the Giants at the Packers. The surprise of the week, that was the 9:30 a.m. London game.
And
How about them Giants?
How about them Giants?
Doesn't look like Rodgers is going to get regular season MVP this year. You know what that means, don't you? They're going to win the Super Bowl because he's going to suck in one of the two. If he sucks in regular season, maybe he'll be good in the postseason. If they make it there.
If they do, you got to put an if there. But the Giants have a great start to their year at 4-1.
The Giants are 4-1, and the only game they lost was to Dallas with a backup quarterback, which makes no sense whatsoever. But Cooper Rush has beat 4 people in a row now, so we had the Steelers at the Bills. Oh my.
That was annihilation.
38-3.
Have you seen the Steelers look like absolute garbage before?
No, but that was it. That was, of course, you're playing arguably, I think, probably the best team in the NFL, in the most complete team in there. When they're on, they'll beat people 38-3, and that's what they did there. So, Josh Allen he was throwing 60-yard passes against the wind.
He was known out of the draft for his arm.
He's got a cannon, man. We had the Chargers at the Browns. You live by the sword.
You die by the sword.
You die by the sword.
You live by the Joe Woods. You die by the Joe Woods.
And Joe Woods is probably the worst defensive coordinator in
football in the past 10 years.
So he is really bad.
He is, in the past 10 years, he's got the worst pass defense of any coordinator ever hired.
Yeah. And they won some games by kicking 45-yard field goals. This one,
they unfortunately lost.
They missed that late field goal, or they would have beat the Chargers.
Stefanski kind of wishy-washied his way to that ending in the first place.
He did, yeah. And then, how about the Chargers? I mean, we thought they were going to be a powerhouse this year. They really should have lost that game. The Browns' defense, and then some wishy-washy play calling towards the end.
Brandon Stale, piece of bread, went for it on a 4th and 2 with a 2-point lead.
Oh, no.
But that's what he is. I'm calling him Staley. I know his last name is Staley, but he's a stale piece of bread.
And then Stefanski for the Browns. You're down there at the 35-yard line, and you have 3 plays, and you don't get your kicker 1 extra yard in 3 plays. You actually lose a yard.
Run the ball, Kevin. Run the ball, Kevin.
So they ended up missing the field goal. When they would have, if they would have got 5 more yards, it would have been easy for him. But it ended up being a 53-yarder, and he missed the 53-yarder. So.
Well, some coaches got to be other coaches, you know. Some coaches got to be coaches.
You got 3 plays, get 5 yards, and win the game. How much intelligence does that take?
Well, I guess that's blocked out in the clutch moments sometimes.
I don't know. You just lose your mind in the clutch moments. We had the Bears at the Vikings.
Vikings lead the division at 4-1.
29-22. Vikings.
They had to take a late touchdown to beat the Bears, though, so I'm a little worried.
Yeah, I mean, you do have Kirk Cousins. I'm not a Kirk Cousins fan. Kirk Cousins, to me, is middle of the road.
Throughout his whole career.
He's about
just look at his win-loss record.
Yeah, was it 80-80 or something like that? Yeah, he is the definition of middle-of-the-road quarterback. And I don't think they're ever going to get anywhere. I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl with him. Not unless their defense gets really good enough to carry the offense. But they did win 29-22. The Lions at the Patriots.
This was a stunner.
Oh, my. The most highest scoring team in the NFL.
Laid a goose egg.
Got 0 points.
Against New England.
But it was their first outside game.
It was their first outside game.
Every game up to that point was in
a dome.
Was in a dome. So apparently their offense does not play outside of a dome because they got 0 points outside of the domes. Patriots looked like the old Patriots, 29-0. We had the Saints and Seahawks. Oh, this was a good game, 39-32.
And Geno Smith proves his value once again.
Geno Smith is really, really good. The problem is not Geno Smith didn't do good. The problem is their defense gave up 39 points.
The far cry.
The Legion of Boom.
A far cry from those days, huh?
Far cry from that, yeah. But go Saints, go.
But
Kamara came back healthy. Tore my new one. He
tore him up. And Seattle ran a fake punt that was terrible.
That was not a fake punt. What was that?
It looked like a fake punt, but
it was supposed to be a rugby style kick, where you run out and you wait a second, and then kick it.
But he
waited a second, and 2, and 3, and 4 until he got tackled. He never even tried to kick it or tried to get the first down.
Well, I wonder how much of an earful he got from his coach.
Probably from every player on the team. We had the Dolphins at the Jets.
Jets. Jets.
40-17.
Annihilation.
You think they missed Tua?
Oh, yeah, they do.
Think Tyreek Hills were going to the Dolphins?
Maybe a little
After the other team he was going to go to, the Jets put a 40 burger on them.
And the Jets are showing improvement on year 2 under Robert Saleh.
The Jets have the same record as the Packers.
How about them apples? Well, the Jets are one step closer to baby steps making the playoffs. I'm not going to say they're going to make the playoffs this year, but they came off a complete dumpster fire under Adam Hedgase.
Yeah.
And now they're going to take baby steps forward. I like that.
I like the way their team's growing. I do. We had the Falcons at the Bucks. Tom Brady has never lost to the Falcons, and he still hasn't. 21-15.
One moment. That's pretty defining of this week. There's 3 words that every football fan hates being parodied.
Roughing the quarterback.
Roughing the passer.
Roughing the quarterback, yeah. Roughing the passer. That is that was the first one of this weekend that was like, really? So the Dolphins screw up Tua, and the rest of the world gets punished for it?
I just don't understand.
I don't understand how you could call a roughing the passer play on a tackle. This is still tackle football. Unless they put a belt on them with flags and we start playing 7-on-7 flag football, you're going to have to let him get a tackle.
But that's not the first instance.
No.
That honestly cost the Falcons the game.
That
That's what cost.
That did cost the Falcons the game, yeah.
And the head coach couldn't believe it, and I couldn't believe it, man. And everyone has called out the NFL over this week. The whole league as a whole, really.
But that wasn't the last one.
Yeah, that was not the last one.
No, we did have the Titans at the Washington Commanders.
Carson Wentz.
Man, that's a heck of a way to blow a game, right? You're down there
at the
1 yard line, and you throw an interception to lose the game. Carson Wentz is back.
That was the most painful one
he's
had in a long time.
Yeah. Your team didn't look too bad that day. Defense played good.
And you were about to come back from the Todd Downing effect.
And you're about to win 24-21, and you throw a pick on the 1 yard line.
That has to be one of his worst throws of his career.
That is, yeah. It was pretty bad.
But Todd Downing once again
he was
doing something.
I think Todd Downing is probably one of the worst offensive coordinators in the league. Him and Kellen Moore for the Cowboys. I think they're just some of the worst offensive coordinators in the game. But somehow the power of the Ints overwhelmed the power
of
the Downing. So the two negatives hit, and Carson Wentz's negative was bigger than Downing's way.
Of course, Carson's was bigger than Todd's.
Yeah. We had the Texans at the Jaguars. Texans won 13-6. I would not have picked that. No,
that was an ugly game.
That was an ugly game. The Jaguars were actually starting to look pretty good too. I don't know what happened that you scored 6 points.
The team that played Philadelphia didn't show up.
Yeah, just a bad matchup or something. Some injuries or something. I'm not for sure what. Oh, excuse me. We had the Cowboys at the Rams. How about them Cowboys?
The powers of Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn, that is one of the best defenses in the game right now. And as long as Cooper Rush stays in there and doesn't screw it up,
Dallas has a winning formula.
The problem is that's probably only going to last one more game. And then Dak will probably come back against the Lions, and then they'll restructure the offense to Dak, and we'll lose. And again, it's not Dak. I don't think I'm not saying Dak's a bad quarterback. I'm saying Kellen Moore is a horrible offensive coordinator. And right now they're playing easy. They're playing easy for Cooper Rush. Easy call, easy play calls, easy offense to remember, and just let the defense win it for you, and just do some easy offense. When it comes back, they'll throw Dak in there and they'll give him 82 plays, and nothing will work right, and they'll lose again because Kellen Moore can't call offensive football.
But Dan Quinn.
The only thing that might save him is Dan Quinn's defense. He is maybe the best defensive coordinator in the game right now.
He is one of the top.
Fantastic.
Did you see how ferocious his defense looked?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even give Matthew Stafford time to breathe.
No, 22-10. I mean, that's a butt whooping, really.
They got a strip sack, fumble, touchdown. They got 2 interceptions. The special teams got a blocked field goal.
That's what I say. The offense, if you can play like that and just don't let the offense lose the game, then you can win some games because the defense is fantastic. So we'll see how it goes. We got the Eagles at the Cardinals, closer than I thought it would be.
And the Cardinals just whiffed that kick.
That kick should have been good. I mean, really, it wasn't a bad kick.
But it just creamed to the right. So bad.
So 20-17, the Eagles stay undefeated. The only undefeated team.
Left in the league.
That's it. We had the Bengals-Ravens.
Justin Tucker's a beast.
Justin Tucker is the best kicker. I don't think there's a better kicker in the history of the NFL. Do you really?
No.
I mean, there's been some good ones. But when a man comes out and kicks, what was it, 57?
Like it was nothing.
It was 57.
Like it was nothing.
57, and just went up there and just. I mean, I'm just good. I don't know. What am I supposed
He
to
is
do?
really freaking good.
And then at the end of the game, you got a 45-yard field goal, and
he just nails
and
it.
It was just, I mean,
straight dead center. I mean, I cannot give enough praise to Justin Tucker.
no, he is that's what they say. He is a good football player. You don't even say what position he is.
He's just good.
He's just good.
And Lamar Jackson was good enough to win.
And
this
the
game.
Ravens lead their division now at 3-2. And the Bengals are under 500 at 2
and 3. To be honest, the Bengals' offensive line didn't really give Joe Burrow enough time most times to throw the ball.
I think I've heard that before.
Last year.
And the first of this year.
Fix it. Fix it.
And then to cap off the week, Monday Night Football, Raiders at the Chiefs. What the crap? Part 2 of the...
What the crap?
What the crap kind of call was that?
That was probably the most blatant.
That's probably the blatant. Yeah, because the Chiefs guy sacked Carr.
This is not the first time Chris Jones has been the victim of this.
Yeah, but he actually stripped the ball from him, took the ball, and was falling down, catching himself on top of the quarterback, and they called roughing the passer when the passer didn't even have the passer wasn't the passer anymore because he didn't even have the ball.
Because he fumbled.
Because he did. Yeah, it was good. The ball was going out of his hands whenever the play was over.
That right there, that is worth one of these. I do this quite a few times sometimes, but that
was horrible.
And did you know what?
The Chiefs were lucky that didn't cost them the game.
And the referee actually who called that, Carl, that's his first name.
He is the same one.
Actually, Jerome was the same one who called it previously.
Yeah.
But those are the two referees I want to call out because
those are two of the worst calls.
They actually defended that.
Luckily, the rules committee at the end of the season is going to take a look at it,
and they're gonna. Everyone's outraged about this. Everyone's calling them soft and weak, and
ex-refs, ex-coaches, current players are all
everyone's saying that.
What the crap?
I was saying that too. Yeah. I was agreeing with everybody else.
We were talking. The easiest thing to do is still call the roughing the passer calls. Don't because we want to protect the players. That's what the problem. We want to protect the players. We don't want somebody just to bulldoze somebody because they can. Make every roughing the passer call reviewable.
Just get a look at it. Just take a look at that.
The same way you do on targeting in college football. If there's a roughing the passer penalty called, review it. Takes 30 seconds and you can get it right. That's fair. I, as a fan, will give up an extra 30 seconds of my football time if you will get that call right. I'll give up a minute. Take 60 seconds and get the call right. I mean, that cost 3 points to the Chiefs and could have cost them the game. Really. On a bad call. It sucked. But the Chiefs won 30-29. The Raiders are 1-4,
and Josh McDaniels looks like a deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
Despite Davante Adams trying to bail him out.
And how about Davante Adams bulldozing the camera guy walking off the field at the end? Really? Or was that called for? I mean, you just lost with your own player bulldozing you. I mean, the Raiders looked like the Raiders, like the old... Oh no!
The old
somehow Mike
Renfro
and Davante Adams ran a crossing route. The trouble is
they bumped into each other.
They didn't use the two defensive guys to pick each other. They ran into each other and picked themselves on fourth. Well, first of all, it's 4th and 1, and you're throwing a 40-yard pass. What the flip was that? Really?
That's on Josh McDaniels right there.
I think Josh McDaniels might need to go back to the Patriots because the Bill Belichick real business program didn't work for him. He's obviously still a bad coach. He was a head coach before for the Broncos, and he stuck it up, and that's when he went back to being an offensive coordinator. And now
he's off of the Raiders doing the
he's off the Raiders,
just
running them the way he run the Broncos.
Why did they hire him?
Well, because he was doing really good at the Patriots. Of course, he had Tom Brady. I think I could probably look good as an offensive coordinator if I had Tom Brady, because Brady's probably out there calling the calls, calling the plays half the time. But anyways, that was it. That was a recap of week. Very interesting week.
Very interesting.
Yeah, that was a recap of week 5. We will do our predictions for week 6, but first, it's time for some dumpster fires. Ish.
Dumpster fire of the week.
Yeah. And the dumpster fire right now is
the Las Vegas Raiders. It smells like a burning casino.
The Las Vegas Raiders, yeah.
It's a burning casino.
They had a chance to go to 2-3 there.
And they've been the beneficiary of an awful call.
The beneficiary of an awful call and just couldn't put it together. So now they are 1-4.
With a head coach that is way over his head. Again.
That is the worst record in the NFL. Is there anybody that's winless yet?
They got the worst record in the AFC with all that talent.
I don't think is there a team winless? I'm trying to think. Is there a winless team yet?
I don't think
there are. Is there?
There's no winless teams, but I think the Raiders might be at the bottom.
Yeah,
they got a worse record than the Colts and the Broncos, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, they got a worse record than the Colts, worse record than the Broncos, worse record than the Jets.
How can you be worse than Nathaniel Hackett?
Worse than the Texans?
How can you
worse than the Jaguars?
How can you be a worse head coach than Nathaniel Hackett?
I don't know, but out of all that hype, I honestly had them probably second in the division, maybe winning the division and going to the playoffs. And now
a crapshoot of a division.
The only thing that could be saved them is their next 6 games are against teams with losing records right now. So they've got 6 straight games that should be, for that kind of talent, winnable. So if you could go 6-0, which is a big stretch after going 1-4, you're still only 7-4 and not out of the woods. But I'm curious has Daniel lost the team now? As mad as Devontae Adams was slamming his helmet and bulldozing camera people on the way out of the stadium,
is he losing his team?
Is Los Angeles lost the team already at 5 games in?
That would be impressive.
That'd be impressive to lose them your first 5 games of your head coach career. Just have everybody just walk out on you. But that was, it's ugly. I honestly thought they would be 5-0 and probably beat the Chiefs. Because that's some talent. You've got Carr, which is a good quarterback. You got Devontae Adams, which is arguably one of the top 2 wide receivers anyways in the NFL. You got Jacobs, which is a tractor trailer of a running back. He just ran. You saw the game. He runs over people, dude. And then you got Waller, which I think is one of the top 10 tight ends, if not top 5 tight ends that is in the league right now. And Josh McDaniels can't win with that. That's got to tell you something. If you can't win with that talent, maybe you're not a good coach.
Maybe he's not a good coach. Maybe he's not. You're saying maybe he's not a good coach?
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe somebody else is behind the scenes doing something that I don't know about. But, if it smells like crap, it's probably crap. So I would say maybe it would be him. We do want to give an honorable mention dumpster fire
to those zebras.
To the refs. Man, that's some garbage calling football. There needs to be, if I go out and I suck at my job, I'm probably going to get fired or something.
But they don't get any punishment.
No, they go out and suck at a job and they get defended. Instead of...
It's some sort of weird little... It feels like nepotism, Dad.
If there's 50,000 NFL fans and 49,998 of them go, that was a horrible call, then you know what? That was a bad call. Suck it up and say, man, I sucked on that one. I screwed that one up. And next time I'll try to do better.
And somehow these guys in zebra patterns, they keep defending their nonsense.
I'm holy. Everything I do is perfect.
This feels like some non-family related nepotism.
I don't know. And then one last little dumpster fire to that terrible game because that Colts Broncos game.
People still want to. I want a refund from that game too.
I want my time back. Can I get that part of my life back, please? But anyways, we'll go ahead and jump into our predictions for week 6. This should be a good week. Oh God, Thursday Could this be the second worst game we've ever seen in our life? Or could it top the last Thursday night game? We have a possibility as we got the Commanders at the Bears.
Woohoo!
1-4 versus 2-3.
I'm gonna pick the Bears.
I'm gonna the line's even, so it's a pick'em game. But I'm gonna pick the Bears because
Carson Wentz is terrible.
I honestly think Justin Fields is not a bad quarterback. The Bears could be killing him. They kill almost every quarterback they get.
But Carson Wentz, I can't trust.
I can't trust Carson Wentz, no. So I'm going to go with the Bears on that one, just a straight up
He
even.
hasn't had his W back in so many weeks. I'm just wondering how long we're going to hold on to this W for.
I don't know. It's going to be a while, I think. Starting out on Sunday. Oh, we don't have a 9:30 game over in London this week, do we? No, we do not. But we do have the 49ers at the Falcons. At these 49ers, I think the 49ers will win rather easily. It's a 5.5 point line.
And I think the 49ers
beat up by 10 or more points probably. That may be just one of the locks. We got the Patriots at the Browns. The Browns should win. They got more talent.
But remember,
the worst offensive coordinator in football is there. I know. I still pick the Browns because the Patriots won 29-0 last week. They're not going to win. I do love me some Mac Jones, but he's injured. So I'm going to take the Browns minus.
Panthers and the Rams. We all know who's going to win that game.
Yeah, Panthers, Rams. The Rams are actually favored by 10.5. Mayfield's out. Your coach is gone.
There's no morale.
That's probably a 27-10 game now. So we got the Jets at the Packers. 3-2 versus 3.
And you compared the Jets to the Packers, and you just pretty much foreshadowed this.
Yes, I did. They're playing each other, and they both have the same record. The Packers are favored by 7.
I'm going to do something fun. I'm going to pick the Jets.
Jets plus 7. Why not? Do you trust the Packers right now?
They don't have a deep threat.
No.
So I shouldn't.
No. And the Giants just tromped all over them.
They came back from a 17-0 deficit.
Yes. So we're going to take the Jets plus 7 just for fun. We got the Jaguars at the Colts.
The Jaguars should win because the Jaguars, for some unknown reason, have their way against Indianapolis.
They do. And you've got 2 points to play with, too. So you got the Jaguars plus 2. We got the Vikings at the Dolphins. Tua's probably still going to be out. So I'd probably take the Vikings just because the Dolphins without Tua look like a completely, utterly different team. They are bad. So the Vikings are favored by 3. Honestly, I'd probably take Minnesota minus 3. Bengals at the Saints should be a fantastic game.
I'm going to pick Cincinnati here.
Yeah, they should. Cincinnati's favored by 1.5. Cincinnati cannot afford to go 2-4. I think they'll pull out every stop they've got to win this game, no matter what. There'll be trick plays, there'll be everything because they cannot lose another game at this point in the season. The Saints are sort of they're in their transition phase of going from one Super Bowl winning Hall of Fame quarterback into finding their identity again. So I think it means more to the Bengals. Got the Ravens at the Giants.
The Giants coming off of a really high in London last week. Will they continue their surprise season?
Ravens are favored by 5.
You want to pick Baltimore here?
I'll probably pick Baltimore, yeah. I think they can score where the Packers sort of are struggling to score right now. I think the Ravens can put up 25 on them. So we'll take the Baltimore minus 5. We got the Buccaneers at the Steelers. The Steelers are looking pretty bad, and the Bucs do have a really good defense still. So
that should be Tom Brady.
Yeah, we got the Bucs minus 8. Got the Cardinals at the Seahawks. That's a toss-up game for me.
That's a toss-up game.
Cardinals are favored by 3, but you're in Seattle. I'm going to take Seattle.
You want to take the Seahawks?
Seahawks plus 3, man. It's hard to win in the Seahawks, and I'm liking me some Geno right now. I'm liking me some Geno's Pizza, some Geno Smith Pizza.
Geno's Pizza? Where the heck did you get that?
I don't know. I'm really liking me some Geno's right now. We got, oh my goodness.
Bills at the Chiefs. My goodness.
Bills at the Chiefs.
Talk about an entree. That's not the entree, that's the whole dish.
That is like I don't care if I see another game this week. I want to see that one. 4-1 versus 4-1.
Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, and it is Buffalo -3 in Arrowhead. Buffalo's favored by 3 in Arrowhead. Who you got?
Fresh off of that awesome playoff matchup, now we get them again in the regular season.
Yeah. I picked the Bills to go to the Super Bowl, so if I do that, I got to go with the Bills here.
You want to pick the Bills?
I mean, they got to win this game. If they're going to go to the Super Bowl, this is the game that gets them there.
To be honest, do you know who's been their boogeyman? Kansas City.
That's what I'm saying. This is the game. If they lose this game,
it's just the same old.
It's the same as it was last year. But I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. So for them to go to the Super Bowl, they win. So
they'll have to do something. They'll have to win.
So I got Buffalo -3 here. And then we have the Sunday night extravaganza.
Another good dish here.
Cowboys at the Eagles. Cooper Rush should still be there. You got to go with the Eagles. The Eagles are I think the best, probably all-around team.
The only problem the Eagles have is to start running the ball a little bit more, and then to play action off of that. But they look pretty good so far.
The Cowboys will stop them from scoring too much
because we got Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn is that good. The trouble is Philly's favored by 5. I don't think that happens. I made the Cowboys +5, but the Phillies winning the game, but less than 5. I think it's a 27-24 type game. 24.
In a division that
24-21.
In a division
24-20.
In a division that suddenly seems tough for all out of nowhere.
Yeah, 3 teams
are 5-0, 4-1,
4-1. It's the best division in the NFL right now.
Oh, Carson Wentz. He's gonna have a fun time.
He's 1-4. He's like the mirror. You know, everybody. You gotta have the little one back there in the back following up the line. And then our Monday night football, we got the Broncos at the Chargers.
And this is
I gotta go Chargers. Chargers are favored by 5.
Nathaniel Hackett is terrible.
They'll win by 10, probably. Yeah. All right, that is NFL for week 5 and week 6. We hope you had a little fun with us. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave us some comments, share us with your friends.
Spread the love.
And hit the Groovy Baby button. It's over here somewhere. Other than that, we'll see you next week for some more NFL football.
See you next week.